Let's do it. Oh, it's February 16th, 2024. Yo, Neek, do you know what Kobe said when he was asked if about being the second youngest player in the NBA?
What he said?
Well, let's let him tell
NBA
us.
is back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I didn't have the legs.
How old are we now?
18.
18. So you are the second youngest player in the NBA?
Yep. So I'm one of the old guys in the league.
What's up? We're the Hoopstorians. I'm Tony Styles. This is Unique. How you doing, man? You doing good?
Yeah, man, you already know it's another day. Blessed and highly favored. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good too. Let's get into this day in NBA history. This day in NBA history, February 16th, 1972, Wilt Chamberlain becomes the first player ever to score 30,000 in a game. That's still the benchmark for success. Do you think we're going to obviously see much more 30,000 point scores as the years come on, or do you think it's going to kind of still level off and there's only going to be one every 20 years or so that gets in the club?
I think we're gonna see it for a little bit. Whether or not it's gonna level off, I guess it depends on what the next wave is. Whether the game elevates again. So it just depends on the evolution of the game moving forward. But
No,
I
that
could definitely see it going on for a minute.
well, that was this day in NBA history. All right, so let's get into it. We had a guest on Monday. The interview, the dialogue, the debate, whatever you want to call it, didn't really go as we planned. We didn't get a whole lot out of them. For those that saw it, well, here I'm going to play a little clip, but basically, I'll play this clip and then we'll go into what we're doing today.
You also have to understand when they have the NBA's top 50 list and a top 75 list, look at who they left out. Bernard King gone, Artis Gilmore gone, Alex English gone, a bunch of star players not on the list, and Michael Jordan fans never questioned that. But then if you dare not put Michael Jordan, that's a problem for them. What is the logic in keeping other Hall of Famers out, but then you can't keep Michael Jordan out? And the last and final thing, at the end of the day, if you want to go by facts, there is no fact that's going to prove Michael Jordan is top 100. So no matter what you want to list, 10 scoring titles, number one in PER, he won rings magically by himself, all the nutty things that Michael Jordan fans come up with, none of it's going to prove factually he has to be top 100. So therefore, when people say he has to be top 100, they're just making things up. You got to be consistent. If you can leave other people off, why not Michael Jordan?
That's the
Well, you want
dumbest
to go
thing
with
I've
that?
ever heard.
So, anyways, um, after that, he just kept cutting him off, trying to let him talk. He was saying that he felt attacked by you guys squinting at him and things like that. And like I said, I'm paraphrasing right now, so disclaimer. We might, I might not say verbatim what happened, but anyways, after the show, he emailed me. He was only on the show for I don't know 8 minutes. He did most of the talking.
Yeah, that
I
wasn't
didn't.
the whole team.
Right, I didn't really get into anything to say. You didn't really get into say. There was just kind of nothing in there. Anyways, he came up with 56 points that he sent me on an email, and where we got everything wrong and he was right. So I wanted to address those because at the end of his email, he said that he's not going to read my response or anything like that. So I kind of wanted to address these points if he is watching, and if you'd like to ever come back on, we could talk about it. We could get Fluent back on and we could do it. So he starts off with, he said, let me tell you how all three of you are questionable. And I expect you to ignore everything just like you always do. But I'm still going to write everything just to make sure you have answers as to what happened. And I know that none of you will admit that you did anything ridiculous then. Any comments so far?
I don't feel like we did anything ridiculous, so I'll wait.
Okay. So, point one, that older guy with gray hair wasn't nice. You know it, and I know it. If you don't know it, then you obviously can't understand mannerisms. There's a way to talk and act with people, and he obviously wasn't being nice and friendly. If you can't get that, I don't know what to tell you. Think back how I treated you when you were on my program. Remember? I was all nice and all respectful, all pleasant, and all kind. I said, "Welcome to the program." I told you, "Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead." I said, "Hey, I want you to have time to follow up. And could you give me more examples?" But you get the point. Now I think how he acted, telling me my arguments are dumb. He barely knows any of my arguments. I was on for like what 2 minutes. He's nodding his head, squinting his eyes. He just overall giving me negative vibes. But okay, no big deal. It's not like I got angry at that time and left. I let it go, and he kept doing it over and over and over, and I let it go. I kept letting it go. Thoughts on point one?
So this was he's expecting the same. I mean, I guess in a sense, what he's saying is he showed how to be, in his mind, professional, show manners and things like that. But everyone is not the same person, for one, and for two, like I was saying, I don't feel as though anybody was rude to him. I mean, he wasn't even around long enough for, if there was rudeness, for anybody to catch it and even attempt to apologize for it. The opportunity wasn't given.
Okay,
He
well
just
his
bounced.
next point his next point's about you. The black guy was doing the same thing, looking at the camera like he's listening to an idiot, squinting his eyes, just not being friendly overall and giving negative vibes. And he kept doing it over and over and over and over. Okay, no big deal. I let it go. I kept letting it go. At that time, it's not like I got angry and left.
So it wasn't friendly for me to allow you to speak and just say whatever you wanted to say, no matter how ridiculous I felt it was. I was squinting my eyes for multiple reasons. Yes, part of the reason I was squinting my eyes is because I thought the stuff was ridiculous. Another part of it is I had a massive migraine that day. Another thing is the ridiculousness of it was making my head hurt even worse. But at the same time, I didn't say nothing. So I felt like that was courteous. Like, regardless of what my facial expression said to you, so what mannerisms or vibes you picked up on, you saw my face. Wasn't nothing hidden. I wasn't hiding. You feel me? I kept my mouth shut. That's about as respectable as I could have been in that instance. I don't have to like what you say, and I don't have to keep a straight face when you say it. Say whatever you feel. So long as I'm not interrupting you, which I wasn't. So long as I'm not disrespecting you, which I didn't. My face is my face. You can't control that.
Well, then he said, and then it became a 2-on-1. Pay attention to your video. Both of them started talking at the same time, and now I'm in a lose lose situation. If I don't address them, I lose. If I try to address them both, it goes nowhere. It's stressful, it's frustrating, and then they're not going to admit that they're wrong in anything. So they just keep coming at me. That doesn't help anything, and they kept doing it. I'm not saying they did it a lot. The black guy was quiet mostly. I get it. I'm paying attention, but then they start to talk at the same time, and they kept doing it over and over and over. It's okay, no big deal. I put up with it. I kept putting up with it. It's not like I got angry and left. Any comments on that? Want me to keep going?
He's lying. That's my comment on that. That is a lie. First of all, to say that we did it over and over and over again, I may have spoken 3 times while he was on, literally. So I don't know what this over and over he's discussed. What happened is he said his piece. Fluent started speaking. When Fluent started speaking, he interrupted Fluent. He was the one that got rude. I understand he felt like Fluent was rude by saying the point was dumb, and he didn't even mean to offend him when he said it. He just, he just said how he felt, which I thought people were entitled to. Also, how are you sensitive in a debate? And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I mean, literally, if you're in the middle of a debate or if you come somewhere planning to debate, how do you end up getting in your feelings about people speaking to it's a debate? So you're worried about people speaking out of turn in a debate? That doesn't even make sense. And then to be like, I can't address my points, or it's frustrating. Whatever he said, I don't mean to misquote him, but the point he was trying to make is it became too much, and that's ridiculous. You said that Michael Jordan can be left off the top 100. You knew that that was going to in your own admittance, ruffle some feathers. Even if that wasn't the case, this is what you signed up for. You signed up to say some stuff that was going to spark some type of controversy, some type of debate, some type of discussion. You did that on purpose. Don't get scared.
Then I called the guy out and told him how he's acting. And what does he do? Apologize? No. Change? No. Give me a logical explanation? No. Do anything nice? No. He just played it off. He acted like he did nothing wrong. He acted like I was making a big deal out of nothing. He acted like he doesn't understand why I'm questioning him. Okay, no big deal. I let it go. I didn't get angry and I didn't leave. Keep going, or do you
Another
want
lie.
to? Okay.
Another lie. Fluent did change. He kept his position, but at the same time, he did kind of acknowledge in a way like, okay, maybe I said it the wrong way, but this is what I meant by it.
Okay. Then that old motherfucker tells me I'm being uber sensitive. What? I mean, let's put to the side if I'm being sensitive or not. When he calls me uber sensitive, is this going to help anything then? Do you expect me to say, okay, hey, this is making things better and everything is great? No, of course not. It's just going to make things worse. But I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. I kept putting it up with it then.
That's some uber sensitive stuff to say. I'm in my feelings, and then you just told me I'm in my feelings a little bit too much, so now I'm even more in my feelings. You're proving my point. You are uber sensitive.
What also makes his remark about being uber sensitive annoying is that I didn't do anything uber sensitive. I was clearly being regular, acting like a guy, questioning Michael Jordan fans, and not holding in my takes. So I'm clearly being strong, confident, open, and real. So how can he ignore that and act like I'm uber sensitive? But okay, no big deal. I let it go. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
I do have a comment. Is questioning Michael Jordan fans normal? Is it normal for fans of basketball in general to question Michael Jordan's greatness? That's normal. I'm not even saying it as a fan. I'm really asking the question. Is that normal? There's nothing normal about this discussion.
What also makes his remark about being uber sensitive thing annoying is that he was the one being uber sensitive. I mean, when a guy shakes his head and acts like this is all ridiculous, squints his eyes and tell you that you have dumb takes or whatever it is he said, because I don't have the exact words, then obviously he's the one being uber sensitive. So when he calls someone else uber sensitive, it's a contradiction. And it's annoying that he contradicts himself. And it's annoying that he doesn't get it. And it is annoying that he acts like he's being totally reasonable. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
Boohoo, cry me a river. We're back to being upset with somebody's facial expressions and what they're doing with their, as long as they're not using their body to physically attack you, calm down.
What
Have a
also
coke
makes
and a
this
smile.
annoying, what also makes this annoying is that he didn't say that his boyfriend, the black guy with the big goofy hat, was being uber sensitive. Why not? The guy was also shaking his head, staring at the camera like all this is ridiculous, squinting his eyes, and so on. So by the older guy's logic, the black guy was being uber sensitive, but he didn't say he was being uber sensitive. So that means he's contradicting himself. And it's annoying that he contradicts himself. And it's annoying that he doesn't get it. And it's annoying that he acts like he's being totally reasonable. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
Hmm. He seems quite judgmental for somebody who came to the show wanting to speak his piece, wanting to be accepted. Like this is weird verbiage.
Then
Go ahead.
old ass started interrupting me. And that's not going to help anything. And it's going to add to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Then the black guy started to interrupt me, and this is not going to help anything. And it's going to add to things being negative, but okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
So
Then they both started interrupting me. And that's not going to help anything, and it's not going to add on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Then they both kept interrupting me over and over and over and over. But that's okay. That's not going to help anything, and it's not going to add on things being negative then. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
hmm. So he's just gonna act like he didn't for one say that I was being quiet, which I was, until he said something that was either directed towards me or came off like it was directed towards me. And that's when I spoke. Don't get upset that you spoke towards me and I reacted to that, because that's exactly what happened. You said something towards me. I addressed it. I let you continue to speak after that. I said my piece and jumped right back out. Let y'all say whatever, I can't even remember what they was discussing at this point. And once again, he made that homie comment or something. He said something to the point where it was just like, who are you talking to?
Well, at one point he did say homie, 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 homie.
Right. So it was like, you feel me? So the only things I said were, who you calling homie, I believe is what I said. And I said something about a facial expression, which is when he jumped off because he didn't have a point. I made a comment about you can't control people's facial expressions, and he got on that I'm not doing this, whatever. And he jumped off. You were in the middle of trying to mute everybody, and you were in the middle of trying to say, hold on. I forgot what they were discussing, but he made that comment that had me like, yo, you can't control people's facial expression. He said something to the extent that you're making faces or something. It's just like, okay,
Well, let
and
me rip
he
these
was saying,
off.
yeah, go ahead, my bad.
So then they both started debating me at the same time. That's not going to help
Hold on,
anything.
hold on. See, that's that bull. Debating you, we never got to the discussion. We never got to debate anything.
So
It
that's what I'm
started
saying.
off with your argument is ridiculous, or that's the most ridiculous thing I've heard, and then all of a sudden it just turned into, no, it's ridiculous because you don't know basketball. You immediately went on the attack. That's exactly how that went.
So then he tells, then I tried to debate them, but neither of them would listen. It's not going to help anything. It's going to add on things being negative, but okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Then at one point, the old guy made some point about how I don't know that he's a Michael Jordan fan. And when I tried answering him, he just kept repeating himself over and 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 over. I even said to him, if you want to know how I know, let me explain it. And if you don't want to know, then don't tell me I don't know that you're a Michael Jordan fan then. Don't assume that I don't know if you are a Michael Jordan fan then. But when he does these things, it's not going to help anything. It just adds on to the
See,
negativity.
this
But
is a
okay, no big deal.
contradiction.
I didn't get
I'm sorry.
angry. I agree
I
that
gotta
that
stop.
is a contradiction. He wants to be able to assume that you're a Michael Jordan fan, or I guess he would say that he doesn't assume, he just knows, and he would say that and that's where that goes. But let's keep going. This is where we're building up to this point. Now, let's be honest. The real reason he and his boyfriend acted the way they did is because they are more Michael Jordan dick riders, and it annoys them when someone is not in love with Michael Jordan. There's no other logical explanation. I know you won't get this because you're one of the Michael Jordan dick riders, but it's so obvious that they acted that way because they are Michael Jordan dick riders. So this is not going to help anything. It's going to confirm that they're Michael Jordan fans and that they're going to react the way they did. But okay, big deal. No big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Then your bald headed ass mutes my microphone. This does not help anything. It's going to add on the negativity, but okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. You had no reason to mute my microphone, so it's annoying when you did it then. It's going to add on to the negativity, but okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. If you're going to mute someone's microphone, you mute theirs, especially the old guys, because he was the one who was rude first. Then there were the ones who were a jerk first, and then there were the ones who started drama first. Then there was ones who were overall negative first. But you decided to mute my microphone then, and so this is going to add on to the negativity. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Let's unpack there. What do you think there?
Where's all these different personalities coming from, and which one is his? Um, Also, we're back to the name calling, but people can't make facial expressions. That's odd to me. And then also it sounds like he has an issue with fair treatment. So I'm hearing you wanted to mute the mics, plural, but he's upset that his was included. But he's admitting everybody was involved. He was getting attacked, all of that. So that means everybody's talking. You're upset that your mic got muted.
Okay, so he said, now I know you said you muted everyone's. Okay, fine. but that doesn't mean much to me. Sure, if you just did mine, it would have been worse. But even though you muted everyone's, you still muted mine. And also, you had no reason to then. So when you try to justify what you did by telling me you muted everyone's, it doesn't really help anything then. It just tells me you're trying to act like you're being fair and you're acting reasonably, but you're not being fair and you're not acting reasonable. So this is going to add on to negativity, but okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Before your shit program, I told you more than once that this would happen and that you didn't listen to me. So when it does happen, that's going to add on to the negativity. It's going to add on what things are annoying. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Remember how before your program you tried to justify why it's okay to have a 3-on-1 thing? Well, when things turned out the way I knew they would, that means you were trying to justify things, add on why things are annoying, add on why things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. After you put us all on mute, you didn't question any of them. This does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. You started questioning me. I couldn't believe it. This does not help anything. It just adds on to things being annoying. It adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. You questioned me when I did nothing wrong. It makes no sense to question me when I did nothing wrong. This does not tell this does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. You started telling me some dumb shit about how you can't see my camera, how you can't see if I'm squinting or whatever. What the fuck does that even have to do with anything? It makes no difference if you can see me on camera. So when you start giving me stupid logic that does not help anything, it just adds on to things being annoying. It adds on things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. We'll break there. What do you think so far?
This is why people shouldn't argue with fools.
Because people from a distance can't see who is who. But I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think it was stupid that that it has nothing to do with anything?
So it's just so much going on with this guy. First of all of this happened. How long did he say he was on? He said he was on for what?
2 minutes,
A couple
I
of
want to
minutes?
say. I think
He
is what
said
he
he was
said.
on for 2 minutes.
Yes.
This is a lot of I got attacked, a lot of people talking over me, a lot of this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. There's a lot of all of this aggression and negativity. It's a lot to have happen in 2 minutes. Like, that's crazy to me. How everybody else was sitting up there ready for the discussion. One of us didn't even come there to dispute, he just came to listen. You have your points because, that's what you do. I'm the only one who actually is a Jordan fan, and I was only there to listen because, contrary to what he believes, not, Jordan fans ain't out here just hating other people's opinion. I don't care what your opinion is. Jordan's not your favorite player. Have I ever made you feel any way about that? How long you knew me?
25 years.
25 years. I've never made you feel a way about Jordan not being your number one. So just off top, his basis was out of pocket.
Well, tell
So
me what you think of this, though. He says, what difference does it make if I'm squinting or not? None of you can see me then. So obviously, if I am squinting, no one will take it in any negative way because no one will know then. So it makes no sense to point out that, hey, we can't see you on camera. We don't know if you're squinting. When you bring this up, it does not help anything. It just adds on to things being annoyed. It adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
hold on, because I forgot to address something earlier about that. So first of all, when he said you questioned him, I meant to ask you then. You questioned him? I don't recall this. You asked him a question?
No, I said that's not really a fair point that you can see us and we can't see
That's what
you.
he's referring
So,
to.
so
So
right.
okay.
And then on top of it though, hold on, like he said, what difference does it make if I am squinting? So you don't have to hide your facial expressions and we do because we can't see you. That's an unfair advantage.
But yeah, because the same way that he's saying that we were making him feel by what we were doing with his blank screen or with him blacked out, more than likely that's exactly what he was doing. So that's fair. It's that's cool. It's cool for you to hide behind his black screen and do the same exact thing that you're upset at us for doing. No, I honor the person that'll do it to my face. Like, if that's the way you feel, that's fine because you know what? Your facial expression isn't going to hurt me. So, unlike you who got triggered by the way that we were doing our faces, the way we were doing our eyes, if you would have did that same thing, I wouldn't have cared because I'm not sensitive.
Well, said this, you're assuming that if I was on camera, I would be squinting. Why would you assume that? So when you assume this, that does not help anything. It just adds on to things being annoying. It adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. If you say that you're not assuming that I would be squinting if I was on camera, that means there was no point in you bringing it up that you guys can't see me on camera when you guys don't know if I'm squinting or not. But you brought up these things. So when you bring up these things, it's not helping anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Did
You
you
get
ever stop?
annoyed easy. You get
Right.
annoyed easy. That's all. I'm sorry. I gotta stop you because that's so. Your issue now is you're assuming I was squinting. You brought that point up because you think that behind this screen I'm squinting. Yes, I do. But at the same time, if that's not the case, we can't move forward. Why is that annoying to you? So you're under the impression that people just talk like this. Yes. So this is my point. I've said everything I needed to say. Now you go ahead. Hmm. That was interesting. Man, get out of here with that. Ain't nobody programmed. Get out of here with that step white shit.
Did you ever stop and think that maybe if I was on camera, that I would not squint and I would not try to do anything that would make me come off as being negative for no reason? No, of course not. So when you don't consider these things, it does not help. But okay, it just adds to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Those assholes didn't even prove me wrong in anything, and they don't even realize it. I just pointed these things out and they still don't get it. This does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. You yourself didn't notice they didn't prove me wrong in anything, and you yourself didn't even realize it. This does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying and things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Wait a wait a minute. Oh my god. If I'm not realizing that nobody's proving him wrong, that only adds to the negativity in the world. I need to recognize that nobody can prove him wrong
He
because of
needs to live in a
nothing.
bubble.
It needs. Oh shit. Okay, when you have someone on as a guest, you don't mute their microphone. That doesn't help anything. It just adds to things being annoying.
Guests get muted
It
all the
adds,
time. What are you
adds to
talking about?
things being negative, but okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. If you're the type of asshole to do that, you could have told me that before you put me on there, but you didn't. And then you
Yeah,
muted
because
my
you knew you were gonna
microphone.
have to mute somebody. Yeah, because
That does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. I just want to remind you when you're debating, I didn't mute your mic. When we were debating, I didn't mute your microphone. You thankless motherfucker.
when y'all were debating, was it just you and him?
Dude, we were just talking on the phone.
No,
It
no, no.
wasn't
I'm
really even
asking. I'm
doing.
asking a question. I'm asking. Who
Yeah,
was
it
it?
was
Was it
just
you and him?
me
It's
and
just
him.
you two.
Yeah,
There will be no reason to mute a mic when it's just two people speaking. But when it's a room with four people, that may be a reason to mute because there's more than just
yeah.
one conversation happening. There's chitter chatter elsewhere. So it would
Right,
make more sense to be muting a group
right,
of four versus a one-on-one thing. Like
right.
he's not
But
even making sense.
right, but you thankless motherfucker. Then, since you're thankless, that does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. I also want to remind you how nice I was to you overall when we debated. I welcomed you. I thanked you. I gave you lots of time. I didn't mute your microphone. I told you can come on as long as you like. We never had these conversations. I told you can come on as many times as you like. I told you can go pretty much over any topic you like. I told you you can plug your page. I even told you nicely I recommend that you don't debate me because you seem like a nice guy. He said that about on my program. I just want to give you a heads up because you're going to lose in. I can give you more example of how I was nice, respectful, kind, pleasant, but you get the point. And now look how you act. It shows that you are thankless. You don't know how to return the favor. You don't know how to be appreciative. You don't know how to treat people nicely. That's the way you were treated nicely then. So all this does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Also, you don't want me to plug your page. It's strange to me that I have more than one popular page, and that maybe you should think yourself that you might want to try to make sure you are on good terms, partly so I can plug your garbage page. So you're so dumb. You don't care about how you act. You don't care that maybe I won't plug your garbage page. Then that does not help. It just adds down to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. You got anything you want to say off this?
I got too much to say. So you're upset. You're annoyed that people don't care whether or not you plug the page, because that is what you just read, right? Also, there was way too many plausible quotes in what you just read for him to be saying people got boyfriends out here. Like I heard way too much going on in there. Um, but back to the whole. Never mind. Just go ahead, bro. I'm getting a headache all over again. This guy's ridiculous.
What
I don't
about
know
you?
how he's annoying me already.
What about you automatically just sided with them? LOL. That does not help anything. It just
Ain't
adds on to
nothing.
things being annoying. It adds to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Does that mean unless we side with him, it's going to be negative?
Man, check this out. Being honest, I was annoyed at the fact that you didn't shut him up. But at the same time, I had to honor and just let it go. I didn't say nothing. But I was annoyed at the fact that you was letting him carry on the way he was. So it's crazy to me that he felt like you picked a side, because I've known you 25 years and I did not feel like you was picking any type of sides whatsoever.
I
So,
was trying to be extremely neutral.
so we got the ignorant crying and complaining about ignorance is what's going on here.
So check this out. You automatically just went after me. That does not help anything. It just adds on to things being annoying. It adds on to things being negative. But okay, big deal. No big
So we're
deal. I didn't
contradicting
get angry. I didn't leave.
ourselves. We're contradicting ourselves because earlier he said you were making an attempt to be fair.
I told you I don't want 3-on-1, and you made it seem like it won't happen, and then you let it happen. That does
It
not
didn't
help
have to
anything.
happen.
It just adds on to things being annoying, and it adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. I told you I don't want a situation where one person says one thing, then I address it, and then another person interrupts me, and then I address it, and another person interrupts me, and I address it, and so on. You made it seem like it won't happen, and then you let it happen. That does not help anything. It just adds on to things being annoying. It adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Do you think he typed out each one of these, or do you think he copied and pasted those?
I'm not sure that these weren't AI generated at this point. I don't even know if we were even dealing with a real person, bro. He wants to be a real boy.
Yes. You made it seem like you would talk to him about these things then, and that you would tell him to be fair, and you would tell him to give me time to follow up, and then you would not tell him to act negative, and you let these things happen then. That does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds to things being negative, but okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
Come, I'm making similar faces right now as you're speaking that I was on that day. Do you feel a way?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No. But I've never felt attacked by somebody squinting their eyes at me and all that. Like I said, if they were doing that, I would think, if I knew something, I'd be like, oh, these smug motherfuckers, I'm gonna prove them wrong. That's what I would be thinking. You and I talked on the phone for a long time. You would think after the whole long phone call, you'd change your mind on something, but no, you didn't change your mind on anything then. It just shows that you're dumb, stuck in your ways, not paying attention. You have too much pride to admit you were wrong in anything then. And the same thing after. This does not help anything. It's annoying, negative, big deal, angry, didn't leave. Before you put me on your shit show, when I was on hold, you told the guy, "Oh wow, he's here." Why were you surprised? Didn't you say 7? I came like at 6:58. So why were you surprised and act like you didn't expect me at that time? This does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying, being negative, and okay, no big God, didn't get angry, I didn't leave. What is the issue with that? When I said, "Oh wow, he's here," or something like that. How is that annoying and negative?
That's, I mean, it could literally just mean you look down. Oh wow, like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Why are you assuming that there had to be some type of negative like there had to be a negative reaction or some negative thought that triggered that response? Like, no, you
Do
could
you
have
think?
literally just
Do you,
looked down. I don't, and
to
from
me,
what
to
I
me, wait,
recall,
I want to say this though. To me, it sounds like it's cool when he assumes things, because if he assumes, it's not assumption, it's a fact. But if you assume things, then it's definitely not a fact. It's just an assumption.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because if I'm not mistaken, I was in a process when you said that. I was in a process of getting ready to tell you what it was I was potentially going to rebuttal with based on what he had to say. And it was like, oh, he's in here. Basically, don't let the cat out the bag yet.
Right.
Now, I don't remember if that's the way it went, but I
Possible.
mean, I don't know for a fact that's the way it went, but that's what I think. Like, that's what I recall.
Right.
And if
So
that's the case, what's offensive about that? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. Assuming. Before you put me on your shit show, I was on hold. You told the black guy something like he has a page called Michael Jordan. Fans are the worst fans of all time. He debates Mike. What was
That's
up
not
with
true.
that? Wait, hold on. What was up with that? You said it in a way as if you're trying to be negative. Then that doesn't help anything. It just adds on to things being annoying, adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
Question
Hmm.
is, Michael Jordan fans are the worst. Is that positive?
No, it's negative.
Oh, okay.
What are you trying
But
to
you
say,
want
though?
positivity. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, what are you trying
He's
to
got
say?
a lot to say about negative energy and negative this and negative that, but your name is negative. Your whole reason for doing this is something negative. You're trying to attract people with negativity. So how are you mad when you receive negativity if that's what you're trying to attract people with? That doesn't make sense to me. You're upset that you think this man said what your name actually is. This is your profile. This is what the profile is under. You're upset that he said the profile the way it is and what it represents in a way that may come off negative. So what it represents in itself isn't negative. It's just how you speak on it or how you even phrase it. Or in this in this instance, you verbatim said what it was and what it was for. And that's upsetting. That's negative. Uh,
Before your shit show started, why did you make me wait on hold for a little while? I mean, it wasn't that long.
did you
And
know?
if,
You,
huh?
you knew he was on hold?
I told you before the show he got there, remember? And then we did this day in NBA history. We did the intro.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that while you and I were talking, I'm thinking that he's somewhere like trying to get in, somewhere stuck in. I don't know what the case is. I'm thinking he's somewhere where he can't get through to you on hold. You're talking about the couple of seconds it took in the intro. That's what you're referring to.
This day in NBA history, that type of stuff. Yeah.
This wasn't a whole 30 seconds. This wasn't a whole minute. We're talking like 20 seconds here.
It might have been a couple minutes tops, to be
Think
honest with
so?
you.
Okay, so a
Well,
couple of minutes.
let's just say he got there at 6:58 or whatever time he said what his thing was. So he got on
I
two
got
minutes
you.
before we started. A
I
couple
got you.
minutes with the intro and all that. Yeah. So maybe a couple 4 minutes. But anyways, he goes, I mean, it wasn't that long, but if nothing else questionable happened, it really wouldn't be a big deal. But because of all the questionable things that happened, it becomes a small drop of water to add to the bucket. I mean, why were you make me wait on hold for a while? I thought you were going to have me on at 7. But okay, fine. You want to do an introduction or something, right? But then you weren't doing an introduction. You're going over other things then. I mean, it's your show. You can obviously do whatever the fuck you want. But why have me on then? Why do you have guests and put them on why not? When you have a guest, you put them on as fast as possible. You don't make them wait on hold and go over things that are not necessary. This does not help anything. It just adds on to things being annoying. It adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. What do you think of that?
So when you have a guest, just forget your whole programming and just cater to them, pull the red carpet out, just do whatever to make them feel pampered and on feathers and cloud nine. Why don't you just bring out, the foot massagers and everything while we at it? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Don't do what I normally do every day because you here. Who are you?
Well, I mean, if you ever watch The Tonight Show or something like that, they have opening monologues and they have all kinds of things like that. And people wait on guests. They have multiple guests. They have to wait for segments. They have to wait for all kinds of stuff before they go on. So
Yeah.
I don't really understand Okay. Before your shit show started and you told the black guy I was here, why did he seem surprised? LOL. Did you not tell him I was going to be on your go on your program? Again, it's not a big deal. Again, if nothing else questionable happened, it would not be a big deal. But when all the other questionable things happen, it becomes a small drop of water in the bucket. That does not help anything. It just adds to things being annoying. It adds on things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave. Then, hold on. Then when you told the black guy that I was on, I don't have the exact words, but you said something to him like the black guy had a certain look on his face and he said something like, "That's okay." I know you probably don't know what I mean by this, and that's fine. I don't expect you to know because it's tough to convey when you're typing, but let's just make up an example so you get it. The way it came off was imagine two people talking, they're having a nice time, everything's good, everything is fun. Someone comes into the room, one guy goes, "Oh, just so you know, the guy who acts rude is here," and the other guy on the look on his face like he's concerned or something. And he says something, "Oh, that's okay." Do you get what I mean? I mean, what was all that
No,
about then? It does not
no, I
help
don't.
anything. It just adds on to things being annoying. It adds on to things being negative. But okay, no big deal. I didn't get angry. I didn't leave.
I don't understand that at all. The example he gave, I'm at a loss. I can't relate whatsoever. Do you know what he's talking about? Like, can you explain that? Do you get what
I
he's
guess
the
I guess
sentiment?
before the show started, I said something like he's here and you said, "Oh, that's okay," or some shit like that. And maybe that was with the cat out of the bag thing or something like that. I don't know. But it's kind of like basically I took it mean as he thought we were talking bad about him.
Was I?
Something like no, not that I know. No,
Like, I
so
didn't say nothing. Like, I was curious. Like, I didn't even have an opinion of this guy. I didn't even have an impression of this guy. I was curious as to what he was going to say. I had formulated an opinion once he started speaking, but at the same time, I was still open to hear what he had to say because I'm aware that my opinion can be wrong. So just because I felt some way didn't mean I wasn't going to let him speak. Didn't mean that at the end of the conversation, I was going to continue to feel that way. He just, I don't know, I guess you, in the words of Marlo, you wanted to be one way. It's the other way.
well, when you have someone on as your guest, you don't set up this bullshit situation where it's 3-on-1. That does not help anything. It just adds on to things being annoying, being negative, no big deal, didn't get angry, didn't leave. When you have someone as a guest, you don't set up this bullshit situation where three people start drama for no reason. Doesn't help anything. It's annoying, negative, no big deal, didn't get angry, didn't leave. When you have someone on as a guest, you don't set up a bullshit situation. Oh, well, he sent that point at the same time. I'm sorry, everybody. This is only really a 55-point letter. Um, when you let's see, when you have some where oh we're so
Apologizing for missing points.
yeah, well he's big on you got to be correct. You can't make up the numbers. You can't do that. All that. When you have someone on as guest, you don't set up a bullshit situation where on one hand you know that your guest didn't start anything negative and you act like it's the guest who started everything and it was negative. Doesn't help anything. It just adds to being annoying, negative, no big deal, didn't get angry, didn't leave. Remember the last few days you have been typing some ridiculous things in your email and ignoring some things that I write. That does not help anything. It just adds to being annoying, negative, no big deal. Didn't get angry, didn't leave. When I was on your shit show, I made points that I made, and your two faggot guests pretty much ignored everything. That does not help everything. It just adds on to things being annoying, adds on to things being negative, but no big deal. Didn't get angry, didn't leave. When you decided to get your bald headed ass involved, you pretty much ignored all the points I made. Then that does not help everything. Anything it just adds to being angry, annoying, no big deal. He didn't leave, all that. You got any comments on that?
What points?
Well, with my bald headed ass getting involved, do you think that added to things being negative?
Another pausable moment. But no, I'm serious. Like, what points did he make? What is he talking about? What points were you supposed to acknowledge of his?
That he knows that you guys are Michael Jordan. If you just let him talk, he'll tell you.
Huh.
Okay, so finally, all three of you were too prideful to admit that you were wrong in anything. All three of you didn't want to know how you were wrong in anything. All three of you were too stupid to understand how you were wrong in anything. And there are more examples of how all three of you are being questionable, but you get the point. That
There's
was the
even more
last.
of them. How do I get the point if I'm so dumb? If I'm too dumb to realize that I'm not realizing something. Why would I realize this? Make it make sense.
And
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. And what I don't get though is all three of you didn't want to know how you were wrong in anything. How is there absolutely, let's say I was wrong just for the sake of argument. I can't see how I'm in a couple of minutes. All I did was mute everybody and tell everybody how we're not hearing anything and it's not a fair example to complain about someone's face when we can't see yours. And then I don't know how I'm 56 different ways wrong with that, and he isn't wrong at all. That's what's baffling to me.
what was the last thing you said? He said, all three of you, what?
We're too prideful to admit you were wrong in anything. All three of you didn't want to know how you were wrong in anything.
All three. Okay.
Anything.
All right. Stop
All
right
three
there.
of you were
Stop.
too stupid to understand how you were
No.
wrong.
Stop. Because you're gonna make me forget where I was gonna go. So all three of you said won't admit that you're wrong, and what else?
All three of you were too prideful to admit you were wrong in anything. All three of you didn't want to know how you were wrong in anything.
That's it right there. Didn't want to know. At what point did he try to explain how all three of us were wrong? Because I literally had only said, who you calling homie, and you can't control a person's facial expression, and then he got off. So what at what point did you try to explain where anybody was wrong? Or at least all three of us. You're saying all three of us didn't want to hear where we were wrong at.
We were wrong that we were not admitting to being Michael Jordan fans.
What?
I guess. I don't know. Remember, that was one of his
No,
points.
bro, that
We
doesn't
didn't
make
let him
sense.
play.
That doesn't make sense. It does not make sense that we're wrong. Because here's the thing. He's saying that we didn't want to hear how we were wrong. He can't be referring to what we're fans of, because you don't know what anybody's a fan of, who anybody's a fan of. If you say I like Taylor Swift and I say no, I don't, you can't say no, you're wrong.
No, that is what he said. Tells you. That's what he's telling. He's telling you he has it so figured out that you might not like Michael Jordan, but whoever you like, it's only because of the principles that the Michael Jordan mass media machine has produced on you. So everybody you like is basically a Michael Jordan reason why to like somebody.
And if that's the case, how do you keep him out of the top 100 greatest players? If that's true, if what you're alleging is true, for whatever reason, they pulled this name off the hat. He made it to the league just like everybody else. So he's at least good enough to be in the league. Whether it was his fault or not, he's won on multiple championships. He got a championship in college. He got multiple championships in the league. Again, he's good enough to do these things. For whatever reason, like I said, they pull his name out the hat, and now he's the focal point. Is that not greatness? He good enough to make it to the league, and his name did what it did. Michael Jordan left the league in what year? And whose shoes is still in the top 5 currently selling basketball shoes?
Well, that's why they elevated him to be better than what he was, because he could sell more.
And that's not greatness.
I guess his point.
And that's not greatness though, because the way I'm looking at it is this. And I guess he's trying to say, I'm assuming from a skill standpoint. But if we're going with skills, you can't disregard his accomplishments. So you can't be like, you can't say he's more skilled than everybody else, but then disregard the fact that he has all these achievements. So, all right, that's a new argument, because you're not willing to hear facts at that point. So now it's a popularity thing. Okay, what makes him so popular? Because it wasn't just they pulled his name out the hat. It wasn't just that they put all this marketing behind him, because he wasn't even making money when he was playing. To explain that, he's barely making any money while he's playing. But they want to put all this money behind his name. And that's because he's trash? Or that's because he doesn't belong and mention in the names and the breaths of the greats? But then when the greats speak, so forget us as fans. We've never played against Michael Jordan. The people who played against Michael Jordan call him Black Jesus. They call him the GOAT. This is legends. This is people that came after him. This is people that played with him. So their opinion doesn't matter. It's all about the fans, huh? So you mean to tell me those people that are in the top 75 that were selected by all of these sports columns and all of these sports media sites and all of these people who are knowledgeable about basketball, all of these people with good credentials know what they're talking about. All of them are wrong. All of them are brainwashed. All of them are programmed. But you can't just be hating. Everybody can be brainwashed. Jordan, let me ask you this. Do you think Michael Jordan has 50 million fans?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's 50 million people brainwashed, and you the only person that can see it.
Yeah, that's his point.
Okay.
So wait a minute, but here's how he ends it after this. He said, "Now, when you add all of this up together, you guys are coming off as silly, strange, annoying, and there are more examples, but you get the point. And I don't need to go on your program in the first place. And I'm not going to wait on hold like I really need to go back on your program. And there's more examples, but you get the point. So when you put all this together, I decided to leave then. And so I left. So now you know why I left, and you can try to understand why I left. But hey, we both know you're going to ignore all this. You're going to act like all of you are being reasonable. You're going to act like none of you did anything questionable, and you're going to blame me for everything. And then I will regret writing you, and you will understand one of the reasons I hate getting into online typing wars with you Michael Jordan fans. Then, and the last thing, then, all three of you are a great example of why Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fan of all time. Anyways, don't bother writing me back. I'm not going to read anything. None of you won against me tonight, and you guys are not NBA experts. Then,
He's an NBA expert saying that Michael Jordan does not belong in the top 100. That's just blasphemous. That's just crazy. We can start there. He also, this guy is crazy, bro. And I don't even mean to offend when I say that, but in my heart of hearts, I feel like everything that you just read suggests that there's something unbalanced with the writer of that.
I agree.
I don't even know where to begin. Like for real,
Hmm.
for real.
So the real question is this: is now that we have read this point by point thing, do you recognize where you fucked up and how you're going to fix yourself?
After reading this, I feel like he was right about only one thing about everything he read. And the only thing he seemed to be right about is he's gonna regret writing that. Everything else is just ridiculous. Am I going to reflect and think about things that I could have done better? No. I mean, I normally would if I felt like I did something wrong. I don't feel like I did anything wrong. And I don't feel like I'm wrong in saying since I didn't do anything wrong, there's nothing to reflect on.
Do you at least see how you're annoying and silly?
I mean, I knew I was annoying and silly to somebody before I went into that. So that doesn't make me feel any kind of way.
Mm. Well, on that note, like I said, we're out. That's all the time we got. Thanks, thanks y'all for staying by. A point by point assessment of how we're annoying and silly, and we're negative and we're unfair, and we're the biggest Michael Jordan fans. We'll be back Monday. Until then, y'all have a good weekend. Stay safe, and
So
let's
that
watch the
All-Star
All Star game.
weekend.
Yeah.